I am in Idaho, heading out onto Henry's Lake to ice fish with Brett High and James Brower of Idaho Fish Game. We only have 2 snowmobiles today, so I have found myself getting pulled on the sled in style. We only have a few hours before dark, so Brett got to work on setting up the ice hut, and James and I went to drill the holes. We're pushing close to this open spring here in this open water because Brett was telling me that the fish, they don't do as much, and when they have an early ice like they did this year, and there's not a ton of oxygen in the water, they slow down, they quit eating. So if we get closer to this open water, hopefully that oxygenated water will get these fish active in this area. But I mean, at the end of the day, you're not pounding cheeseburgers when you're out of breath, so I get where the fish are coming from.
I do get out of breath eating cheeseburgers though.
I'm a coney dog guy myself. I get out of breath eating coney dogs. Do you guys have coney dogs here?
We don't really have coney dogs. We have hot dogs, your normal big hot dogs, but I wouldn't say they're official by any means.
In Michigan, it's everywhere. Like, we've got Detroit style conies, we've got Flint style. It's like our whole deal.
Yeah.
That's come right for you, James. Perfect size for a sample.
I want you to look at this though. Tell me, is that what you got going on?
No, I would put that mealworm straight on the shank. So it looks like it's a tube jig, but it's mealworm instead of, ooh, oh, you dirty fish. That's called a hit and run.
You distracted him. Oh,
that was
he's still there.
That was the last favor I'm doing for you, James. See?
What is?
I told you it's the last favor I'm doing though, and I mean it.
His mom is proud. So a lot of times at Henry's Lake, you be ready to grab them because you get a 10-pound fish up there at the ice, and
are you kidding me?
They'll just bust the line. I think I got my drag a little too loose there. I know you like to hear it go, but there you go. Try that.
Where do you grab it from?
I think I got you too, unfortunately.
No, it's just a big fish.
Yeah, it's...
So I like to see that the DNR people do stuff that we do. You're looking very normal right now. I like it. I like all this.
Where's my hook? Hey!
That's a Yellowstone cutthroat trout. How about that?
Nice, James.
I hate to outfish you guys, but...
Well,
I don't
technically, you didn't catch any fish today. Brett didn't.
Brett lassoed him. I hooked him in the mouth. Brett lassoed him.
You nailed
nice
it.
job, James.
All right.
There you go. Okay, we ready to put him back?
We're putting him back?
With a kiss. Nice.
Just so you know, I'm going to eat the ones I get. I'm just putting that out there. How many hundreds of years ago do you think people were catching cutthroat trout like this where we're sitting?
Yeah, I wonder if those guys ice fished back then. So before European settlement, how long have Native Americans been catching cutthroat here?
Right, that's what I'm interested in. I mean, is it
I don't know.
hundreds of years?
I bet longer than that.
Thousands?
Yeah.
That's cool. And it's like the same fish, you know?
Same fish. Pretty cool that we can still catch them here.
Thanks to you guys. And I mean that. It's actually true, which is pretty cool.
And it's really thanks to our sportsmen. I mean, we can't do anything unless we have funding to do this, and the funding all comes from our sportsmen.
People buy hunting and fishing licenses, and they buy hunting and fishing equipment, and that self-excise tax all goes towards that mission.
Exactly.
That's why it's so important for people to get out and do it. We ended up only catching a couple more fish, all of which were smaller cutthroat trout. But we did see so many on the underwater camera. Unfortunately, they just simply had no interest in my bait. My favorite part about ice fishing is being able to look down and see the action, regardless of whether the fish are biting or not. And I've got to say, seeing such large numbers was certainly a good sign for the health of the Henry's Lake fishery.
The takeaway from today for me is that the size structure of Henry's Lake fish population is diverse and abundant. So fishing's good now when they're hungry, and it's going to be good in coming years with these smaller fish coming into the population.
Right.
So I think that's good things for Henry's Lake, and it's also good things for our remote lakes, because this is the source of the eggs and the fry that we'll stock out. So since we're going to have fish available again this year, it spells good things for our remote lakes as well.